A very good evening to all my dear students. Welcome for today's last session of the chapter Management and Administration. So very obediently, you have been following the instructions and you have been regularly revising and doing all the topics. We have completed from section 88 till section 105. We will be starting from section 105 and we'll be completing the chapter today. Good evening, Shamli, Tanu, everybody, a very warm welcome to the class. Deepika, Linga, Pujabi, Mujahid, everyone, welcome to the class. Good evening, Prerna. So I hope, as I always tell you, that you have revised what we have done in the previous class. And we will be completing the chapter today. Along with that, we'll also be doing as many questions as possible so that you have the practical exposure also. We'll also try to see the descriptive questions given at the back of the study material because they are very, very important. Institute has already shared a pattern with you. So it's important that after completing every chapter, you must go through all the questions given at the back. Good evening, Navneet Maurya, Rohan, Kuldeep Nagar, all of you, welcome to the class. So we have done the general meetings, AGM, again 97, 98 was tribunal calling AGM and EGM. Section 100 was specifically about the EGM. I hope no doubts still here. Anyone having any doubts till section 100? That's great. Everything is clear. So no doubts. We can proceed ahead. After that, we did about prerequisites of the meeting. Having notice under 101, a detailed explanation was given to you regarding 102, where an explanatory statement is required. So if you don't have any doubts, then quickly tell me, if I am transacting a business at the meeting for appointing Mr. A as a director in my company, what kind of business it is? It's an ordinary business or a special business for the appointment of Mr. A. Excellent. Everybody says, ma'am, it's an ordinary business. That's great. Jaya Manocha Anubhav, very good. Sakti VR, good evening, child. Ordinary business, very good. Prerna, everyone. So it's an ordinary business. Yes, Yumi. So do we need to send an explanatory statement for this ordinary business? Good, Deepika. Do we need to send an explanatory statement for transacting this ordinary business? Absolutely no is the correct answer. Why? Because explanatory statement under section 102 is required only while we are transacting special business. That explanatory statement will tell about the nature of concern, any financial or otherwise interest if the director, manager, KMP is having, and any other information which is important to be discussed and shared, which helps us to take the decisions in the business. If we have not disclosed this kind of interest, then what will be the replication? You have to tell me. What will happen under section 102 subsection 4 if I fail to disclose my interest as a director or KMP or a promoter? Then if I have not given a sufficient disclosure in the explanatory statement, then what will happen? Then, ma'am, you are holding this amount of the benefit that you have taken from the company as a trust, and you need to return this benefit to the company. You're liable to compensate for whatever benefits you have received because you're holding it as a trust and you're not owning that benefit. याद आ गया सबको 102? Any contravention, liability 50,000 or 5 times of the amount of the benefit that you have taken, whichever is higher will be the penalty. Explanatory statement is not required for transacting ordinary business. Now, children, MCQ can come related to such questions. है बहुत easy बात, बहुत छोटी सी बात है. OB के साथ नोटिस जाएगा, SB स्पेशल बिजनेस के साथ नोटिस के साथ एक्सप्लेनेटरी स्टेटमेंट जाएगा. बट एमसीक्यू में केस स्टडी बेस पे दिया होगा, 7-8 लाइनों का एक सिनेरियो होगा, केस सिनेरियो। उसमें वो बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें लिखेगा, हम ये बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, एजीएम इस डेट को है, ऐसा होना था, वैसा होना था। 4 ऑप्शंस दी होंगी, कंपनी ने स्पेशल बिजनेस समझ के एक्सप्लेनेटरी स्टेटमेंट नहीं दिया, इज इट रॉन्ग? कंपनी को स्पेशल बिजनेस नहीं था तो नहीं देना है, तो आपको चूज करना है। See, for the MCQ, I wanted to give you another important tip. I think I've shared earlier also, but once again, I want to remind you. The best technique for doing MCQs in your CA intermediate paper is, whenever you get that set of questions for MCQs, read the case study very carefully. Read it twice because you get sufficient time for reading also. Read the question once or twice. Try to frame the answer in your mind. What do you think should be the correct answer? And then proceed for reading the options. Today, we will be doing the MCQs from the study also. I'll try to test your knowledge. What comes to your mind when you think about this without reading the answers? Because children, when we generally tend to read the answers, we most of the time confuse ourselves. We think that this is the correct answer या फिर ये भी हो सकता है, तो चॉइस मिल जाती है ना, तो हमारा ब्रेन तीनों तरफ काम, हम तीनों और चारों ऑप्शंस पे हमारा ब्रेन काम करता है, भी क्या हो सकता है. So always try to frame the answer in your mind first and then read the options. That is a very important technique for 90% doing your MCQs in a correct. All right, so always remember that. Okay, everybody has given the correct answer for the previous one. After 102, we did 103. So if I have a private limited company, what is the maximum number of quorum required for my company? Jaya Manocha, the first one to give the correct answer. Very good, very good. Excellent, everybody. 2 is the correct answer. If you have the option of chatting in everyone chat box, why don't we chat there, child? Try to use that main chat box only so that everyone answers come at one go. All right. And if it's a public company having 1,300 number of members, what will be the maximum quorum? Adil Khan, good. 2 for the private company. 15, very good. So if articles provide for the larger number of quorum, that is 25, then for 1,300 members, you will have 15 or 25. Tell me. Then you need to have 25. Very good. Can articles provide for the lower number of quorum? The answer is no. It can provide for the larger number, but never for the less number. Quorum should be present within how much time period on the date of meeting? Okay, Prerna, if it's not there, it's okay. Half an hour from the scheduled time. Yes, Navneet, all your answers are correct. Sabke answers correct हैं. Absolutely correct. And if the quorum is not present, the meeting stand adjourned in the next week at the same time and place or any other time and place which the board will decide. But if the meeting was called by requisitionists holding 1/10 of the paid up share capital of the company and the quorum is not present, then what will happen? Not 48 hours, Theosyomi, half an hour. Within half an hour, the quorum has to be, members have to be present. Very good, Shamli. Adil, everybody, we will cancel the meeting. Yes, Prerna, good. We will cancel the meeting. Aditya, 30 days? 30 days for what? Prajapati, Pooja B, Geeta, very good. All the correct answers. And if at the adjourned meeting also the quorum is not present, then what will happen? Then all the members who are present at the meeting should sit to form the quorum. All right. If a person is representing a body corporate, then he will be considered as if he is a personal present member. So if he is presenting 3 companies, how many persons you will be counting him as a quorum? If a company's representative has come and yes, 3, very good, Jaya, Tanu, excellent everyone, Kuldeep Nagar. No answers, Anubhav, good. Navneet, good. Linga, everybody. Deepika, excellent. Proxies will not be counted for the quorum. So proxy has a right to vote at the meeting, yes or no? Does a proxy has a right to vote at meeting, yes or no? Very good, no ma'am. But if there is a demand for poll, then yes, proxies can vote. So today we will understand all these voting systems, how the votes have to be done. Okay? All right. Then any doubts about the chairman? We have done 104 also, chairman of the meeting. Can chairman have a casting vote? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Only if the articles provide, then only he can have a casting vote. Casting vote means second vote. If the choice is given, he can select which option he has to go so that the final decision can be taken with the help of chairman votes. How is the chairman selected? By show of hands. But if the poll is demanded, then till the time new chairman is elected, then show of hands chairman will remain. And once the decision is taken, then that particular chairman will hold the meeting. Aditya KS, proxies, we will do in section 105, then pay attention. All your doubts will be clear. Okay? Very good, Prajapati. Everyone correct. Now let's discuss proxies as well as revise it, and let's have a quick recap because many of you had doubts in the proxies. So again, once again, we are doing proxies in detail. So who is a proxy? A person who is appointed, any member of a company. So here is your answer. Somebody was asking who will appoint a proxy? Kaun puch raha tha? Kiska question? Good evening, Rohan. I hope you're understanding everything. Keep answering along with this. Theosiomi, Tanu, everybody's answer is correct. Okay. So somebody was asking who will appoint the proxy? Any member of the company, child, who has the right to attend and vote at the meeting can appoint another person as a proxy. So if Mr. A is a member of the company and he's not feeling well, he cannot go and attend the AGM. So he has appointed his sister Ms. B and he asked that, can you please go and attend the meeting on my behalf? Can his sister go and attend the meeting? I told you only if it is a Section 8 company, then it is compulsory to have only the member as a proxy, but otherwise you can have any person as the proxy. You can have any person acting as a proxy. So कौन अपॉइंट करेगा? कोई भी कंपनी का मेंबर अपॉइंट करेगा. All right? Any member can appoint a proxy. Clear हो गया first point? After that, proxy will not have the right to speak at the meeting and will not vote. Everybody is clear upon this point also. If company is not having share capital, you cannot appoint a proxy. And even CG can exempt certain companies from having a proxy. Any doubts still here? These first 4 points. क्लियर है? अब चलते हैं मेन पॉइंट पे, प्रॉक्सी का. एनी मेंबर कैन अपॉइंट. Yes, Aditya. Aditya, now your doubt is clear. Who will issue proxies? Any member will appoint. MGT form has to be filled, which is available on MCA website, Aditya. From there, you have to fill the form and fill in the proxies and provide to the company. All right. So a person will not act as a proxy on behalf of members exceeding 50 and having the prescribed number of shares. So this detail is given in the rules. So let's read it from the rules. Rule 19 tells you, first of all, if you're a Section 8 company, then you cannot appoint any other person. Only the member will be acting as a proxy. So proxy can be appointed for, Anubhav, what you have not understood in first point, please ask me. Ma'am, first point, क्या first point में क्या नहीं समझ आया? Non-applicability. That means if a company is not having share capital, वो proxy appoint नहीं करेंगे. Simple. तो सिर्फ कंपनी जिसकी शेयर कैपिटल है उसी में ही प्रॉक्सी, क्योंकि हमें कैलकुलेट करना है ना परसेंटेज, इस करके उसने वहां पे प्रॉक्सीज अलाउड नहीं. ओके. अ पर्सन कैन एक्ट proxy maximum for how many members? You can be appointed as a proxy for maximum 50 members. Clear? Manisha R. Sangeetvani. A person appointed to 10 members. Very good, Sangeetvani. Yes, absolutely correct. Adil Khan, Nitin B. Everybody is correct. 50 is the correct answer. Yes, Navneet. Absolutely. So maximum for 50 members. And there is an important condition that these 50 members together should not be holding more than 10% of the total share capital of the company, which is carrying voting rights. Not more than 10% means at least 10 or less than 10% of the share capital if they're holding, and maximum 50 members. Both these conditions have to be seen. You can be appointed as a proxy for them. And Aditya, in which form? MGT 11. You were asking which is the form of proxy. MGT 11 is the proxy form, which is available on MCA website. Today, we'll try at the end to see all these MGT forms also, the balance forms which are left. All right. So if there are Mr. A, B, C, D, and E shareholders of the company, and A is holding 2% of the paid up share capital, 1% B is holding, C is holding 3% of the capital, D is holding 1%, E is holding 1%. So how much total share capital A, B, C, D, E are holding? Tell me. 2, 1, 3, 1, 1. 8%. Is it less than 10%? Yes, ma'am. Can Mr. P appointed as a proxy for all these 5 members? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, and why also? I want the reason. Yes, Pooja, yes is correct answer. Then why? Because maximum for 50 members, they can be appointed, and if they're holding less than 10%, not 1% of need, less than 10%. Okay. Now, Mr. P can still be appointed as a proxy. There is another person, Mr. F, who is holding 2% of the paid up share capital. He says, look, Mr. P, even I am not well, please be a proxy for me also. Can he be appointed for all of them? Yes, ma'am, 10% तक है, हो जाएगा. अब Mr. G भी है, वो कहता है 50 के लिए कर सकते थे, सिर्फ 6 के लिए अपॉइंट हुए हो. मैं 8% शेयर कैपिटल होल्ड करता हूँ, प्लीज मिस्टर पी मेरे भी प्रॉक्सी बन जाओ. क्या वो जी का प्रॉक्सी बन सकता है? नो मैम. व्हाई? बिकॉज नाउ द होल्डिंग गोज more than 10%, so that is not possible. So both the conditions have to be seen simultaneously. एक तो ये केस हो गया. दूसरा केस है, Mr. A is holding 21% of the share capital. B is holding 11% of the share capital, and they have appointed Mr. P as their proxy. Can Mr. P appointed as proxy for both of them? The answer is no. Can Mr. P appointed as a proxy for only Mr. A or for only Mr. B? Then yes, ma'am, he can be appointed, but then he cannot act as a proxy for any other person. If you're appointed as a proxy for anyone who is holding more than 10%, then you cannot act as a proxy for any other person. सबको क्लियर हो गया ये कॉन्सेप्ट? अब फ्रेश माइंड से दोबारा पढ़ा आपने तो आपको समझ आ गया. इसी तरह से जब आप एग्जाम्स के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे होगे, whenever you get exhausted while preparing for your exams, because I will not be there at that time when you'll be studying for real for exams, that time when you'll be sitting for your final revision. So remember my words for that time. So whenever you feel exhausted, you're not understanding, that is the time when you need to close the books and relax your mind. And always pick up a topic which you find difficult with a fresh mind so that you understand it clearly. Sometimes students, we keep wasting time paying unnecessary attention to a topic when our brain is not working properly. So उस टाइम पे ब्रेक लेना जरूरी है, चाहे वो 10 मिनट की ब्रेक है, चाहे वो आधे घंटे की है, चाहे आप वॉक कर लो, उस टाइम पे ब्रेक लो, because then you are giving rise to the negative energies in your mind, because you're not understanding, you're again and again applying your mind. Similarly for any accounts question also, if you're not getting the answers, that's the time to take a break, relax, and whenever you'll do it and again with a fresh mind, you'll always do it. Try doing this also. All right? Okay. Yes, actually, Anubhav has written, Mami, कितना easy था, but उस दिन समझ नहीं आ रहा था because your brain was exhausted. You have done so much. Good, Sangeet. When it's clear now, that's great. Okay. Very good. Sakti, all your answers are correct. Every notice of the company having a share capital of the articles appointing a proxy shall appear a reasonable statement that the person entitled to tenant vote has appointed the proxy and the proxy need not be a member. So whenever you have appointed a proxy, when the notice under section 101 goes for the meeting, in that notice, you should always announce that we have appointed a proxy. And it is not necessary that he should be the member of the company. If any default is made, then a fine of 5,000 will be charged. Now comes your 48 hours wala window. When do you have to deposit the proxy form? First of all, what was the proxy form? How will you remember proxy form? One person appoints another person for his behalf. So 1111. One person has appointed another person on his behalf. So MGT 11. This form has to be submitted 48 hours before the meeting. Unless the articles, even if the articles provide for the longer period, so longer period will not be accepted. At least 48 hours time period should be there. 2 दिन से पहले 48 घंटों से पहले हमें प्रॉक्सी फॉर्म मिल जाना चाहिए, बिकॉज कंपनी को देखना है who is Mr. Proxy who is coming to attend the meeting. Do we want him to be appointed as a proxy or not? Are we happy or not? So 2 days before, 48 hours before the meeting, you should submit. And this document will be in writing and signed by the person. If the invitation to appoint a proxy or one of number of person invitations are sent at company's expenditure, so ये सारा simple है, तो company की अगर expenditures हैं उसी पे होगा. Otherwise 50,000 rupees penalty लग जाएगी. उसने पहले भी बता दिया, अगर आप कुछ भी error करते हो तो penalty will be charged. So 48 hours is important point over here to remember. Now another point is the question of inspection of the proxy. Now a case study will come in the exam. Mr. A was holding 5% of the share capital of the company. He has appointed Mr. P as the proxy. Other shareholders B, C, and D want to inspect and see who is Mr. P. Can they do the inspection? Yes, ma'am, they can do the inspection. What is the time period for doing this inspection? If the meeting was to be held on 23rd June 2023 at 11 a.m., then what is the time period during which they can come and do the inspection? 24 hours before the meeting, that is 22 June 2023, 11 बजे से लेकर, let's assume the meeting ends on 23rd June, 5 p.m. So ending of the meeting is 23rd June, 5 p.m. So 22, 11 बजे से लेकर 23 जून 5 बजे तक किसी भी टाइम में ये लोग आकर चेक कर सकते हैं कि मिस्टर पी कौन है. At any time within this time period, they can come and inspect that who is the proxy. But if I ask you that B, C, and D came at 4 a.m. in the morning to find out who is the proxy, is it correct? No, ma'am. Why, ma'am? Because only during business hours. Only during business hours you can inspect the proxy, not other than the business hours. All right. But examiner tells you, okay, that he has come to inspect the proxy at 2 p.m. on 22nd June. Is it valid? You will say, yes, it is valid, provided 3 days notice in writing was given that we want to come and inspect the proxy. Now you tell me what is the date of the notice, when this notice should have been given. 23rd June, 11 baje meeting. ये सारे examples लिखने हैं. You have to write down with your own hands all these examples. Twentieth June 2023 is the correct answer. Absolutely correct. 20th November. Tanu. Sangeet Winnie, very good. They should give notice by 20th June. Adil Khan, absolutely correct, everyone. Manmeet Kaur. Yes, up to 10% can also move. Can a company not allow someone to be appointed as proxy? Yuvam Paul, we are discussing about the same. Company can allow anyone to be appointed as a proxy. Okay, we are doing the same topic. Good, Harsh Mishra. Eaton City, good answer. 20th June, 11 a.m. I like that. Ashilisha, correct. Deepika, correct. Prajapati. Jaya Manocha, good. 19th क्यों बोला Jaya Manocha? 20th June, 3 days before. Very good, Manisha. Only during business hours. Shamli Sharma, absolutely correct. Prerna, all the answers are correct. So I have to go into each one of the chat box and find it. You should better write in the everyone one, no? That's better. Okay. Yes, Mr. Yuvam.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that can a company not allow someone to be appointed as proxy?
Not allow someone.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. That is the reason we are asking them to submit it 48 hours before, because company will have to take a decision whether this proxy can be appointed further or not. So yes, company can take for.
Okay.
All right.
And any other reason, ma'am?
For any other reason means?
Any other reason apart from?
No, for if there has to be a specific reason.
Like
if using for a person to be proxy, there has to be a valid reason behind it. You cannot just say that I don't like this person, so he cannot be. Only if there is a valid reason. That's why law has given you a chance that other shareholders can come and do the inspection, because for poll voting, proxy will also be voting at the meeting. So we don't want any outsider to be coming and sitting at the meeting. Okay? All right. So now we are going ahead to the most interesting topics, that is section 106 and 109 till 109, in which we will be understanding about the voting system. So let's begin from section 106, which says restrictions on the voting rights. Voting क्या होता है? मैं कंपनी की शेयर होल्डर हूँ, 5% शेयर्स होल्ड करती हूँ, तो मेरे को नोटिस आएगा 101 में कि हरडीन हमारी कंपनी मीटिंग कर रही है, एजीएम है, आप आकर अटेंड कीजिए. If I have a voting rights in the company. So whenever person has a voting rights, he will get the notice and he has the right to attend the meeting and he can vote on that meeting. But there are restrictions on the voting rights. Section 106 talks about when do you not have the voting rights. What are the cases when you do not have the voting rights? No member will exercise the voting rights for any sum called presently payable by him has not been paid, or if the company is exercising their right of lien on them. What is the meaning of right of lien? Can anyone raise their hands and explain me what is the meaning of right of lien? Lien means कब्जा करना किसी चीज के ऊपर. शेयर्स जैसे forfeit कर दी हैं, lien exercise कर रहे हैं. So if you are a shareholder and you have not paid the call money on these shares, when the company has called the money, then you cannot have the voting rights. Suppose there was rupees 10 per share. Company has called up rupees 8, but you have only paid rupees 6. So can you have the voting right up till rupees 8 or up till 6? Obviously, ma'am, till 6 rupees. So any amount which you have not paid, 2 rupees that you have not paid, you cannot have the voting rights on that. And if you have done any default and company is exercising a lien on your shares, that time you cannot have the voting right. A company shall not accept any other grounds prohibit any member not to have his voting rights. So it says only in these two conditions company can prohibit someone. Number one, when the company is exercising a right of lien. Number two, when you have not paid the sum which the company has called. इसके अलावा किसी भी और रीजन से आपके वोटिंग राइट्स रिस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं करे जा सकते. In English, apart from these two reasons, company cannot put any restriction on your voting rights. In case of poll, member of or proxy entitled to more than one vote did not use all his votes or cast the votes in the same way all the vote he uses. So when we do demand for poll, there I will teach you this point, how the member and proxy are using their votes. Basically, he is trying to tell you that if I am Miss H and I have appointed Miss B as a proxy. So if I have casted a vote for any resolution, say by electronic vote, then my proxy will not be voting again on the same resolution. Okay. Although proxy has the right for demand for poll, but if I have already casted the vote, then that person cannot vote again on that particular resolution. In case of joint shareholders, very interesting. Unless the articles provide otherwise, joint shareholders must concur in voting. Concur means, लिख लो, agree with each other in the voting. There was husband, wife, A and B, who were the joint shareholders, and they will be counted as one member in the quorum. I forgot to tell you about these joint shareholders. They will be counted as one member together for the purpose of quorum. Joint shareholders को इकट्ठा ही हम count करते हैं, right? हाँ, वही मैंने बताया ना नवनीत, अगर मेंबर ने वोट कर दिए फिर प्रॉक्सी सेम रेजोल्यूशन पे वोट नहीं करे. ओके दीपिका. In whose report the proxy person will be inspected? In the reporting entity on the firm with Vedant Tiwari, obviously in the firm where the person is appointed as a proxy, there the inspection will be allowed. Okay. Now, if A and D are going to cast a vote, they must agree for this voting. A says, no, I am not in the favor of this resolution. B says yes, 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 I want to cast in favor. So ऐसे नहीं चलेगा. Either both of you say yes or both of you say no. ये अपने husband wife वाले झगड़े घर में करो. यहाँ voting में you cannot say that दो husband wife जो है members हैं वो अपनी vote cast करने गए joint shareholders हैं and they started fighting. No, no, I don't agree with you. That is not possible. If you're casting a vote, joint shareholders, they must concurrent voting. They have to agree to a same because they have to cast a single. And if the voting is done in the order of seniority, what is the meaning of this order of seniority? What is the meaning of this word order of seniority? Whosoever names appear first in the register of members and the section 88 padha tha humne, that person will be considered as senior. A company can restrict in case of unpaid calls or liens only if authorized by the articles. अगर article silent है नहीं लिखा तो फिर रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं लगानी. अगर आर्टिकल्स में नहीं लिखा फिर रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं लगा. सो आप जब अपने नोट्स बनाओगे तो उसमें लिखोगे ओनली इफ एओ प्रोवाइड्स एंड देयर आर अनपेड कॉल्स एंड लियन हैज बीन एक्सरसाइज्ड, देन यू कैन नॉट गिव देम द राइट टू वोट. But if articles do not have anything related to this, then you cannot have any restriction. If you are joint members, you must concur in writing, and in the order of seniority, the votes will be cast. Let's do one question from the study material. फटाफट से करना पड़ेगा आज हमें क्योंकि टॉपिक बहुत ज्यादा. हाँ नवनीत, फिर आप रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं लगा सकते. Section 106. Where the articles do not contain any restriction, then you cannot prevent the members from voting. Okay, he has written this paragraph. Mr. Subramaniam and Mrs. Sneha are joint shareholders of the company holding 500 equity shares for the special business that was being transacted at EGM. Subramaniam was in favor of the resolution. कहते हैं हाँ जी, I am in favor. Mrs. Sneha does not favor the resolution. How the vote should be casted in such a case? Tell me what 2 points you will write in this kind of question. You can raise your hands and answer me. So you will simply say, in case of the joint shareholders, they must concur in voting. And if they don't concur in the order of seniority, we have to decide whose vote has to be considered. Order of seniority means the order in which their names appear in the register of members. Therefore, they have the right to instruct the company. Subramaniam and Mrs. Sneha, it has to be seen whosoever names appear in the register of members first, the vote will be casted in the favor or against. अगर सुब्रमण्यम का नाम पहले है तो फेवर में चले जाएगी, अगर स्नेहा का नाम पहले है तो अगेंस्ट में चले जाएगी. If the directors are also shareholders of the company, तो कोई directors हैं जो shareholders नहीं, फिर voting कैसे हो? कहते directors who are also shareholders, they stand in a fiduciary relationship with the company. Fiduciary relationship means a relationship of trust and confidence. Relationship of trust and confidence. Written. So relationship of trust and confidence. As the same common shareholder has the right, they also have the right to vote. He is not supposed to be influenced by the fact that he is one of the directors. तो अगर आपको examiner बोलता है Mr. Ray is a director in the company, can he also vote if he is a shareholder also? So you will simply say that there is no problem. He can also cast his vote as a normal shareholder has been casting the vote. Now let's quickly do section 107, a very basic section. Voting by show of hands. So whenever show of hands, I told you, हाथ raise कर vote करना, simple है. At any general meeting, resolution to be voted shall be, unless the poll is demanded. Generally, we have a show of hands only. Following will be the conclusive evidence, declaration by the chairman, and entry to the effect in the minutes of the meeting. Now, this is very, very important point. Conclusive evidence means क्या proof है कि resolution pass हो गया. So there were 5 members who were attending the meeting. Quorum था and एक chairman था Mr. G. So show of hands हुआ तो 4 बंदों ने hand raise करा and it was decided yes in the favor of the solution. Now chairman, once he has declared yes, the vote is in favor and he makes an entry in the minutes of the meeting. Now this is the conclusive proof that the resolution has been passed. You cannot change once this decision has been taken. Insolvent shareholder can also cast vote by show of hands as long as his name appears in the register of members. So there was a person, Mr. A, who has been declared insolvent, but since his name is still appearing in the register of members, so he can also cast his vote. Okay? Now, after 107, we will be doing 109. That is demand for poll. पहले हम 109 करेंगे, फिर हम 108 and 110. Now starts the very interesting and important topic, that is demand for poll. Poll demand करने का मतलब क्या होता है? आपने show of hand से Mr. A को chairman बनाया, but I said I don't want Mr. A to be the chairman. I demand for poll. Poll is a secret voting system. Like when you go for elections, how many of you are major 18 years and above? Have you ever casted vote in the elections? Tell me. Okay, Pooja raises her hand and tells yes. Yes, so that's good. Very good, very good. Yes, Kuldeep, there cannot be any division. Yes, Prakhar, not much, so it's okay. We will be doing now very important topic. Yes, Manmeet, obviously it's the same syllabus, not to worry in that case. They must concur means they must agree. Very good, Sangeet Mani. Itam Seti, good. All your answers are correct. Linga, everybody good. Okay. So poll will be demanded. Poll is a secret method of voting. So I told you, yes, you all have attended elections. You have voted for that. So when you go, you have seen that there is a ballot paper which is kept. You cast your vote and you secretly just fold it and put it in the box. No one comes to know for whom you have voted. So it's a very confidential method of voting. Similarly, for companies also, we have poll demand. It's a confidential. Poll may be ordered by the chairman on his own, or it has been demand made by the shareholders. So if the poll is ordered by the chairman, then it's okay. But demand should come from whom? If a company is having share capital, then the members present in person or proxy, not having less than 1/10 of the total voting power, on which the aggregate sum of not less than 5 lakh rupees or such higher amount as may be prescribed. So there are 2 conditions for company having share capital, but if it is not having share capital, then 1/10 of the total voting power. आपने section 100 में पढ़ा था, requisitionists, 1/10 of the share capital और 1/10 of the voting power. आपने section 102 में पढ़ा था, 95% of the share capital plus majority of the members. एक provision हम section 109 में पढ़ते हैं. Who can make the demand? If you are holding 1/10 of the share paid up share capital and you are holding aggregate sum of at least 5 lakh rupees or such higher amount, and if you are a company voting rights वाली not having share capital, then 1/10 of the vote. वहां पे majority की बात हुई थी, यहाँ पे 5 lakhs की बात है, वहां पे 1/10 था, 102 में 95% था. Like these provisions, you should paste it on the first page, write it down so that day before the exam, you simply read the provisions and you remember and you recall, because these are the important highlighted numbers that you have to remember. So poll may be demanded. Company having share capital, then who will demand the poll? Write it in the chat box. 1/10 of the total voting power, having sum of share capital of 5 lakhs, not having share capital, 1/10 of the voting power. Poll may be withdrawn at any time by the persons who have made. So if they want, they say, no, रहने दो, हमें withdraw करे, तो वो withdraw भी कर सकते. So poll may be demanded by the chairman or by these requisitionists that you have written down in the chat box. Correct. हाँ जी नवनीत, होता है उसके बाद फ्रेंड. ईवीएम क्या है? ईवीएम कहाँ लिखा है बेटा? पोल डिमांडेड फॉर एडजर्नमेंट ऑफ द मीटिंग और अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ चेयरमैन. पोल किस चीज के लिए डिमांड हो सकता है? मीटिंग को एडजर्न करने के लिए हमने पोल डिमांड करा है, या फिर चेयरमैन को अपॉइंट करने के लिए. 104 की पहली लाइन क्या थी? चेयरमैन कैन बी अपॉइंटेड बाय द पोल मीटिंग. So poll can be demanded by for the adjournment. Adjournment means taking the meeting at the seminar. Poll demanded on any question other than adjournment or chairman not later than 48 hours from the time when the demand was made as the chairman of the meeting made it. So वो कहते हैं पोल आपका दो चीजों के लिए डिमांड हो सकता है. नंबर वन, मीटिंग को एडजॉर्न करने के लिए. एडजॉर्न मीन्स टू कैरी फॉरवर्ड. और चेयरमैन को अपॉइंट करने के लिए. If you demand for the poll for any other reason, then at least 48 hours from which the demand was made, this shall be taken into account. You have to send the request at least 48 hours from the time when the demand was made. Where the poll is to be taken, chairman shall appoint such other person who will come and scrutinize the poll process and will count the votes. स्क्रूटनाइजर का मतलब होता है ऑब्जर्वर. आपने देखा होगा जब आप इलेक्शंस में वोट करने जाते हो तो बहुत सारे लोग वहां बैठे होते हैं जो चेक करते हैं कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी मैटर्स. राइट फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड दे स्टार्ट योर चेकिंग. Now this is not elections vote. I'm just trying to relate it so that you understand that scenario, how the demand for poll is happening. So you have seen that there is a box which is kept hidden behind the black curtain. You go and vote. So after that, observers, scrutinizers will sit and do the counting of the polls and votes. Similarly, when poll is demanded, chairman will appoint another person who will come and he will act as an observer, scrutinizer. He will see whole poll process is happening correctly. Nobody is doing any cheating and fair method is conducted, and he will count the votes on the basis of the report. Chairman of the meeting will have the power to regulate the manner in which the poll has to be taken. Chairman will take all the call. Result of the poll will be decision of the meeting on which the poll was taken. So whatever will be the result, that will be the final call for the meeting. Okay? समझ आ गया सबको? So manner in which the chairman will get the poll process scrutinized. अब हम वो पढ़ने जा रहे हैं रूल नंबर 21 में. बट ये ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट था सेक्शन 109. इट्स वेरी इजी. एक तो लिमिट लर्न करनी है यहाँ पे, कौन लोग डिमांड करेंगे पोल के लिए. एक ये याद करना है कि पोल एडजॉर्नमेंट या चेयरमैन की सिलेक्शन के लिए है, किसी और पर्पस के लिए तो 48 आवर्स पहले बता देना. एंड चेयरमैन सारा प्रोसेस करेगा. वो रूल 21 में दिया हुआ है किस तरह से स्क्रूटनाइजर आएगा एंड पोल प्रोसेस करेगा. अब हमने वहां इलेक्शंस वाली वोटिंग में नहीं जाना है, इसी में रहो, वो सिर्फ रिलेट करने के लिए. Scrutinizer number 1 will be given all the attendance register of members, specimen signatures. He will be given all the information received by the company according to section 105, 112, 113. इसके बाद आपको 112 and 13 बताऊंगी, फिर आपको समझ आ जाएगा. अभी हमने वो नहीं करे. 105 क्या था जल्दी बताना मुझे. What was section 105? जल्दी in the chat box. Proxies के बारे में. Scrutinizers will arrange for the polling papers MGT 12, MGT 11 proxies की बात करता था. MGT 12 polling paper की बात कर रहा है. एंड वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देगा मेंबर्स को एंड प्रॉक्सीज को जो मीटिंग में प्रेजेंट है. प्रॉक्सी को दे दे. प्रॉक्सी वोट कर सकता है, यस मैम और नो मैम? प्रॉक्सी तो वोट नहीं करता है मैम. डिमांड फॉर पोल में प्रॉक्सी वोट कर सकता है. ठीक है. So proxy will also get this MGT12 polling paper and joint shareholders polling paper will be given to the person who is named first. Scrutinizer will keep a record of the polling papers. He will keep them under lock and seal in the empty polling box. सबने अपना अपना वोट करा, पेपर लिया एंड लॉक एंड सील में रख दिया. These boxes will be opened later on in front of two persons. So दो लोगों को विटनेस बुलाया जाएगा ताकि स्क्रूटनाइजर भी चीट ना करे. स्क्रूटनाइजर का फ्रेंड था मिस्टर ए, जो मेंबर था कंपनी का, तो बोलेगा यार तू मेरी वोट पे फेवर कर. ऐसे आप चीटिंग नहीं कर सकते हो, फेयर मेथड करना है. सो पोलिंग पेपर्स आए, स्क्रूटनाइजर ने बॉक्स में रखे, लॉक एंड की. Two witnesses are appointed who will stand in front of the scrutinizer while he open and makes his report. The scrutinizer shall decide the validity in consultation with the chairman. He can also consult the chairman. If a member who was appointed as a proxy has voted in person, then proxy's vote will not be counted. Very important point. Not be counted. Many of you had interest in this point. हाँ जी, एक पर्सन था मिस्टर ए, उसने प्रॉक्सी सेंड कर दिया मिस्टर बी. अब पोल डिमांड हो गया तो बी कैन वोट. यस मैम, बी कैन वोट. बट ए हैज already casted his vote by electronic method. Will you consider B's vote? Yes ma'am or no ma'am? लिख लो लिख लो लिख लो अपने नोटबुक में, रजिस्टर में एग्जाम्पल लिख लो. मनमीत कौर, I will tell you who is acting as a scrutinizer. Kuldeep Nagar, Prakhar, everyone. Clear? Then his vote will not be counted. यहां तक सबको क्लियर हो गया? स्क्रूटनाइजर आया, लॉक एंड की में रखा. ध्यान से समझ लेना ये मेथड डिमांड फॉर पोल, क्योंकि पोस्टल बैलेट एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मेथड सेम है. पूरा रेप्लिकेशन है, एक प्रोसेस समझेंगे, बाकी दोनों भी सेक्शंस कवर हो. अब हमने क्या करा, स्क्रूटनाइजर विल काउंट द वोट्स कास्टेड ऑन पोल एंड प्रिपेयर अ रिपोर्ट. अब रिपोर्ट किस चीज में बनाएगा? MGT13. MGT12 क्या था? पोलिंग पेपर था. MGT13 क्या है? स्क्रूटनाइजर की रिपोर्ट है. The report shall be signed and submitted within 7 days from the date when the poll was taken. 7 days एक important figure है. अभी तक सिर्फ वो वाली फिगर्स आई हैं, 1/10 of the share capital holding 5 lakh shares, then 1/10 of the voting power. 48 hours से पहले बताना है कोई और रीजन है, and 7 days में MGT13 submit. Where the voting is conducted by electronic means, the company will provide all the technical facilities to the scrutinizers in order to conduct the voting and the company. आजकल कह रहे हैं AI का जमाना है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस यूज होती है, कुछ भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीन्स यूज करोगे तो बेचारे स्क्रूटनाइजर को सपोर्ट दे देना अंडर सेक्शन 108 में, जहां पे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीन्स इन इंग्लिश. Where under section 108 you are using electronic means for casting the votes, then please provide all the technical support to the scrutinizers. Scrutinizer report will tell total vote casted, valid votes, votes in favor of the resolution, including the details of invalid polling papers and votes compromised. Chairman will declare the result. The result will be announced by a person, either by himself or the person authorized in writing. And once the chairman has announced the result, entry is made in the minutes, then it is said to be a final process. So voting by poll is very, very simple method. Let's quickly do questions from the study. Section 107 is clear. Can the insolvent member cast a vote? Yes, as long as his name is appearing in the register of members, he can also cast. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीन्स अभी नहीं कर रहे हम कौन सा कर रहे हैं, पोलिंग वन. डिमांड फॉर पोल कब होगा? लिमिट लिखी हुई है 5 लाख वाली. विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं पोल. एडजर्नमेंट एंड अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ चेयरमैन के लिए, कोई और चीज के लिए तो 48 आवर्स में बता देना. सफिशिएंट नंबर ऑफ स्क्रूटनाइजर has to be appointed. What is the duty of scrutinizer? To prepare a report, conduct the polling. Power of the chairman to regulate. All these points we have done. He will be given all the documents. He will arrange for the polling papers MGT 12 and report is made in MGT 13. ये सारे points repeat है. 7 days में report दे. ठीक है, बहुत बहुत easy है, बहुत easy. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड भी कर लें, उसके बाद ब्रेक लें. I wanted to do a question with you. पोस्टल बैलेट पे दिए क्या? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड भी देख लो एक बारी, प्रेजेंटेशन में से देख लो, मैं से बता दूं. Central government may prescribe the companies in which the member may exercise the rights by electronic methods. Every company which is a listed company having the shares on the stock exchange or company and the company which has not less than 1000 members. तो अगर आप listed company हो and plus 1000 से ज्यादा members हैं तो आपको इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड ही देना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज इतने सारे मेंबर्स को कहाँ बुलाते रहोगे आप वोटिंग करने के लिए. देन दे हैव टू प्रपोज टू वोट द रेजोल्यूशंस बाय इलेक्ट्रॉनिक. However, Nidhi company, institutional investors by SEBI is not required to provide this facility to vote by electronic means. तो निधि कंपनी को and SEBI regulated companies को ये facility नहीं. So number 1 point, CG will tell which companies will exercise the vote by electronic means. Number 2 point, listed companies के लिए जो having 1000 more than members उनके लिए compulsory है. Number 3, निधि companies को exemption है, उनको जरूरी नहीं है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड से वोट कास्ट. अब इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड का मतलब क्या होता है? घर बैठे बैठे बटन दबाया और वोट हो गई. इजी है ना? So company will provide the facility to exercise the votes. Following procedure has to be followed. Notice will be sent to all the members by the registered post or the registered email IDs. It shall also be posted on the website. What will be the particulars of the notice? That the company is providing the voting for e-voting. All the ballot papers have to be made available at the meeting, and the members attending the meeting already casted their vote should be able to exercise their right at who have not casted. See, now I have sent you the electronic votes. You are the members of my company. I have sent you the postal ballots और I have sent you the electronic means. मतलब जैसे कोई लिंक होता है. आपने देखा होगा गूगल फॉर्म्स भरते हैं हम आजकल, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट फॉर्म्स होते हैं. So if you have already filled, like you fill the Microsoft Google form, similarly, I will send you some electronic links wherein you have casted the vote yes or no. Now that means your yes and no has already come to me. It is there in the record of the company. All the members who are attending the meeting, those who have not casted their vote, they still have the right to cast the vote at the meeting. ठीक है? इंटरेस्टिंग है. इजी लग रहा है या नहीं? मुश्किल लग रहा है, इजी लग रहा है? जल्दी बताओ. समझ आ रहा है? लेंदी है उससे नहीं घबराना, समझ आ रहा है. अंडरस्टैंडिंग. सो लेट्स टेक अ स्मॉल ब्रेक हियर. अब्सॉर्ब करते जाओ इन्फॉर्मेशन. ठीक है, इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑब्जॉर्व करते जाओ, समझते जाओ. शामली सेज इट्स इजी, इंटरेस्टिंग, गुड, नाइस. सो इसके बाद हम ब्रेक के बाद कंप्लीट करेंगे. तब तक एक बारी स्टडी मटेरियल में से जितना हमने अभी तक करा है एक बारी रीड करो. सो वी टेकिंग अ स्मॉल ब्रेक हियर. All right, let's proceed ahead. Anyone having any doubts till here? Give it a reading. Prakhar, not to worry. Retention happens when we keep reading again and again. Manmeet Kaur is asking for the WhatsApp link. So the technical team can send the WhatsApp link in the group. And sir, everyone wala chat box be on kar do so that all the students can respond on that. Thank you. Thank you. Jaya is asking why lock and seal empty polling boxes. Why lock and seal? तो बेटा secrecy कैसे maintain होएगी? कोई भी आकर उसमें से ले जाएगा. Empty box means उस box पे डालना है ना आपको polling papers. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Harsh Mishra, for always your wonderful comments. I'm glad you're finding it easy now and you're understanding. That's very, very important. Okay. So the technical team has given you a WhatsApp link, those who wanted it. So quickly tell me, MGT 11 form is used for what? Insolvent member Mustafa, somebody who has been declared insolvent, that means he doesn't have sufficient assets to pay off his liabilities. As soon as his name will keep appearing, he can be considered as a member. Savia Khan, Lingar, all your answers are correct. Proxy form, very good. Everyone chat box is open now and everybody's answering correct. What is MGT 13 form used for? No, it's not polling Jaya Manocha. It's the report of the scrutinizer. Very good, Manmeet. Summary result, Mustafa. Very good. And what was MGT 12? Nitin B. Good. Scrutinizer's report. Good. Deepika, correct. MGT for poll. Mustafa, yes, it's polling papers. MGT 12. Everybody has given the correct answers. Wonderful. So now let's move ahead towards voting through electronic means, which we have already started. So if I'm a listed company and my number of members are 500, do I need to do the voting by electronic means? Is it compulsory? Yes or no? Why no? What is the condition then? Write down the condition in the chat box. Listed companies plus 1,000 or more members, then it is compulsory. Ashilesha and Yunam, now we are using the everyone box, chat box, so you can also send your answers there. Okay, Ria? Does Nidhi company has to comply with the facilities of voting by electronic means? No is the correct answer because it is exempted. Now let's move ahead. So notice will be sent, which shall be sent to all the members, directors and auditors. We already did this, members, auditors and directors. To everyone under section 101, notice has to be sent either by registered post or by speed post or at their email IDs. And notice will also be placed on the website. What will be the particulars in the notice? That we are going to provide you the facility of electronic modes. And whosoever is available at the meeting, there will also be option. Ballot papers or polling paper will also be made available, and who are not attending the meeting or who have not casted their vote, they can, by remote e-voting, will be able to exercise it. Members who have cast their vote to the meeting prior shall not be entitled to cast their vote again. या तो आप वहां आकर कर दो या पहले कास्ट कर दिए तो इट्स. फिर नोटिस में और क्या बताना है? नोटिस ही है 108 में इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज 109 में ऐसा नोटिस नहीं था. प्रोसेस सेम है, सिर्फ यहाँ पे नोटिस के बारे में बात कर. Notice will indicate the manner and process for voting by electronic means. किस तरह से आप वोट करेंगे. Time schedule for the meeting, the time period during which the votes will be casted by remote e-voting. Details of the login ID and process and generating the password. So I told you password generate होगा, जैसे Google form भरते हो ऐसे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मेथड होगा, एक प्रोसीजर होगा, वो सारा आपको बताना है. You have to publish it in the notice. This notice will be sent by an advertisement published in the newspaper. 2 newspapers में आप publish करते हो, vernacular newspaper and English newspaper. At least 21 days before the date of the meeting. One in vernacular newspaper. Vernacular means suppose your RO office is situated in Mumbai. So there people generally speak Marathi language. So the legal language, the local language is Marathi. If your office is in Punjab, then one in Punjabi newspaper, one in English. You're in Maharashtra, one in Marathi newspaper, one in English newspaper. You're in Gujarat, one in Gujarati newspaper, one in English. So that you understand the language for wide circulation. So both the newspapers, this notice will be given. And 21 days before the date of the meeting, this notice has to be given that we are going to cast our votes by electron. You will also tell the statement that the business to be transacted through e-voting. What is the date and time and commencement for remote e-voting? Remote e-voting means घर से remotely vote कर रहे हो. जैसे आप remote e-classes लगा रहे हो हमारे साथ, वैसे remote e-voting है. Date and time of remote e-voting. Cut-off date should not be later than 7 days before the meeting. So cut-off date कितनी दोगे? At least 7 days. 7 days is the common provision. 109 पे भी 7 days है, यहाँ पे भी 7 days. Manner in which persons who have acquired the shares and become members of the company after dispatch of notice may obtain the login ID and passwords. So if you have obtained the shares after dispatch of notice also, then also you can get the login IDs and passwords. What is the manner, how it should be given, will also be given in the detail. All of you, those who have written local language, correct? That's absolutely correct. So, something which is interesting. The statement that remote e-voting will not be allowed beyond the set date and time. अब 7 days पहले तक आ जाना चाहिए कट ऑफ डेट, बट रिमोट ई वोटिंग का एक टाइम होगा. जैसे गूगल फॉर्म का टाइम होता है कि मैम बोलती है बेटा 9 बजे रात तक भर देना, उसके बाद गूगल फॉर्म इज नॉट अवेलेबल. ऐसे ही आप डेट एंड टाइम बताओगे कि यहाँ तक आप भर सकते हो, इसके बाद आप वोटिंग नहीं कर सकते. मैनर इन विच द वोटिंग हैज टू बी डन. Members may participate even after exercising the remote, but will not be entitled to vote again. I have already told you. If your name is entered in the register of members or in the register of beneficiary owners as on the cut-off date, then only. So 7 days before the date of the meeting, cut-off date से पहले अगर आपका नाम है, तभी आप वोट कर सकते हो. अगर आप बाद में आए हो तो आप वोट नहीं कर सकते. Website address, name address and email ID of the phone number. So literally learning part है, proper theory है. सिर्फ 7 days वाली provision common है दोनों में, and एक वहां पे 48 hours की provision थी. बाकी डिमांड फॉर पोल कौन रेज करता है, वो एक लिमिट है जो लर्न करनी है. इट्स वेरी बेसिक प्रोसेस. Now, time for opening the remote e-meeting shall remain open for not less than 3 days and close at 5 p.m. on the date preceding the date of the meeting. So, for remote e-voting, it shall be open at least for 3, not less than 3 days means 3 दिन से कम नहीं होना, 3 से ज्यादा हो सकता, 3 or more than 3. And 5 p.m. on the date preceding the date of the meeting. So if my meeting is on 11 June 2025, so 3 days before this, 8, 9, 10th, so at least 8th June 2025 से शुरू कर 10th June 2025 तक 5 p.m. तक available. लिख लो, for example, if the meeting is on 11 June, 8th ले लो या 7th ले लो on the safer side. 7 June, at least 3 days. 7, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10 भी दे सकते हो ना, 3 days, 7 या 8, कोई भी ले. And 5 p.m. तक चलो. Yes, नवनीत, 24 hours ओपन रहेगा. वोट ही तो करना, आपने घर बैठ कर आना थोड़ी ना यहाँ पे. Option for remote e-voting. During the period, the members holding the shares, either in the demat or physical form, as on the cutoff date, may opt. Once you have voted, will not be allowed to change it subsequently. ये नहीं कहना कि ओहो नहीं 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 मैंने गलत वोट कर दिया. पहले ही ध्यान से करो. Once you voted, you cannot change it. Subsequently means later on. You cannot change it subsequently. Clear, everyone? When to block the facility? At the end of remote e-voting, the facility will be blocked. If company wants to provide the same electronic vote method, the facility will be operative and the resolutions will be considered. तो आप decide कर सकते हो. Company has the option when to block this facility and when. Again, scrutinizer will be appointed. Now, who was asking, ma'am, who is a scrutinizer? Board of directors will appoint one or more scrutinizer who will be a CA in practice और कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट इन प्रैक्टिस और सीएस और एडवोकेट. बड़ी बड़ी डिग्रीज वाले हैं स्क्रूटनाइजर्स. ऐसे नहीं किसी को भी बैठा दिया वहां पे ऑब्जर्वर डब्बा लेकर रॉक एंड सील वाला. नो, either he will be a CA in practice or CS in practice or an advocate lawyer or a cost accountant in practice who is a person of a reputation, who is not in the employment of the company. किसी कंपनी का एम्प्लॉय नहीं होना चाहिए and has a good reputation and who is in the opinion of board can scrutinize the e-voting and voting system in a fair and transparent manner. So who will be appointed as a scrutinizer? CA, CS, cost accountant, all these persons can be appointed as the scrutinizer. He will take assistance of the person who is not in the employment of the company and has good knowledge about the electronic voting system. मैंने आपको बता ही दिया. अब अगर मैं आपको बोलूं बेटा चैट जीपीटी यूज करके मुझे सारा बता दो तो आप बोलोगे ना मैम एआई को यूज करना है तो हमें कोई टेक्निकल असिस्टेंस चाहिए. आप अभी देख लो ना, हम रिमोटली क्लास लगाते हैं. वी ऑलवेज हैव टेक्निकल सपोर्ट सिस्टम हु इज सिटिंग विद अस, हु इज गाइडिंग अस, बिकॉज जिसका जो मेन रोल है अभी आईटी रिलेटेड मैटर्स है तो वहां पे आपको ई वोटिंग में टेक्निकल असिस्टेंस है तो मिलेगी ही मिलेगी, सो दैट योर प्रोसेस गोज इन अ फेयर. एंड चेयरमैन का रोल क्या? विलिंगनेस ऑफ स्क्रूटनाइजर विल बी अपॉइंटेड. Scrutinizer shall be willing to be appointed and available for ascertaining the required majority, and chairman by use of ballot or polling paper or electronic, all those members who are present at the meeting but have not cast their votes by waiting the e-remote. So chairman भी अपना रोल प्ले करेगा, वोटिंग को काउंट करेगा and can also cast their votes. फिर काउंटिंग ऑफ वोट्स होगा. फर्स्ट काउंट द वोट्स कास्ट एट द मीटिंग. Unlock the votes casted through e-voting in front of 2 witnesses. तो पहले आप जो वोट्स मीटिंग में कास्ट हुई है स्क्रूटनाइजर उसको काउंट करेगा. फिर वो ई-वोटिंग वाले गूगल फॉर्म जैसे मैंने एग्जांपल लिया उसको चेक करेगा. Not later than 3 days of the conclusion of the meeting, scrutinizer's report shall be prepared. वहां पे कितना था सेक्शन 109 में? 3 days में आपने रिपोर्ट बना देनी है. ठीक है. Chairman shall declare the result. Votes to remain secret till the votes are casted at the children. So secrecy maintain होनी चाहिए आपकी, बताना नहीं है आपने, तभी तो ये सिस्टम कर रहे हैं, वरना तो शो ऑफ हैंड्स कर लेते. अभी सारे पॉइंट सेम है बेटा. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू रीड देम. Scrutinizers will have the access to the members, maintenance of registers to be maintained, all the details to be provided, and safe custody of registers will be kept. Date when the resolution has been passed, the resolution shall deem to have been passed at the relevant general meeting. A resolution proposed to be considered by electronic means shall not be withdrawn. पोल में आप विड्रॉ कर सकते थे पोल, बट एक बार आपने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मींस की रेजोल्यूशंस डिसाइड करनी, यू कैन नॉट विड्रॉ. Clear? So this is all your electronic means. And we have done demand for poll. We have done restrictions on voting, show of hands. Section 106 से लेकर 109 खत्म हो गए हैं. 110 बहुत ही इजी है. ये वही बातें करेगा दोबारा से. मैंने लिख दिया आपके लिए सारे पॉइंट्स, बट इसमें क्या बताने वाला है वो मैं डिस्कस करूंगी. सारा दोबारा नहीं पढ़ेंगे. चलो एक बार रीड कर ही लेते. पोस्टल बैलेट मीन्स वोटिंग बाय पोस्ट. इस पे क्या होगा? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीन्स से इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली क्लिक ऑफ बटन मोबाइल वगैरह के थ्रू कर रहे हैं. पोस्टल बैलेट्स मीन्स चिट्ठी पोस्ट करना. So I'll send you the polling papers at your home, postal ballots. You will tick mark physical papers को, and then you send it back by the post. Again, scrutinizer will check whole procedure of section 108 plus section 109 is equal to section 110. So हम 108 लाइन पढ़ चुके हैं, वही सेम चीजें mutatis mutandis will apply to section 110. All the business, central government will tell what all things have to be done by postal ballot. Other than the ordinary business, where the directors or appointment auditors have the right to be heard, transact by means of postal ballot. So अभी क्या करें? Postal ballot means voting by post or by electronic. Same ही बात. A company shall, for any business as the CG may think fit, may be transacted. So CG बताएगा कौन सा business आपने postal ballot से ही करना है. And any business other than the ordinary business and any business for which the directors or auditors have the right to be heard can be transacted. So ये other than that means जहाँ पे auditors and directors को सुनना जरूरी है, वो postal ballot से नहीं हो सकता. Ordinary business भी postal ballot से नहीं हो सकता. Instead of transacting such business, items to be transacted by means of postal ballot may be transacted, which is required to provide electronic modes, the manner in which it has been decided. So two important things. CG will decide, other than the ordinary business hona chahiye, where directors and auditors have to be heard, that cannot be done through postal ballot. If resignation has been accepted by required majority by means of postal ballot, it will be considered to have been duly passed. एक बार उन्होंने रजामंदी दे दी, हाँ कर दिया, तो उसको ballot मान लिया जाए. Now these highlighted points are all same. Notice has to be sent, advertisement has to be given. The only additional point is the reasons and their assent on the postal ballot means voting by electronic means within a period of 30 days from the dispatch of notice. So ये 30 days वाला new point है यहाँ पे. बाकी न्यूज़पेपर वाला पोस्टल बैलेट वेबसाइट पे जाएगा, सारा सेम है, रिपीट. मार्क कर लिया. Again, date of commencement, postal ballot will not be valid beyond the said date. Directors will appoint the scrutinizer, should be willing to be appointed. He will submit his report after the last date of the receipt of postal ballots, but not later than 7 days. वहां पे 3 days का टाइम था, यहाँ 7 days का टाइम है. एंड ये सारी वही सारी बातें हैं, रजिस्टर्स रखने हैं, ध्यान से रखना है, चीजें हैंड ओवर नहीं करनी है. And after 30 days from the date of issue of notice, they will reply has not been received. So 30 days time period has to be considered. Now this is important. Following are the businesses which can be transacted only by postal ballot. हमने दो बातें देख ली, पोस्टल बैलेट क्या नहीं करना. पहले ये देख लो, रूल 20 regarding electronic means will apply in the same way as it is applicable to the voting by electronic. So rule 20, 21 and 22 सारे ही सिमिलर प्रोसेस बताया. पोस्टल बैलेट में मैम क्या याद करना है बेटा? ये याद करना है कि अगर कंपनी का ऑब्जेक्ट क्लॉज मेमोरेंडम का ऑल्टर करना है, पोस्टल बैलेट से ही वोटिंग होगा. आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन में कुछ इंसर्शन रिसिशन करना है, इंट्रेंचमेंट डालनी है, या फिर कुछ भी इंक्लूडेड इन द आर्टिकल्स ऑफ द प्राइवेट कंपनी, पोस्टल बैलेट. वेरिएशन कर रहे हैं शेयर होल्डर्स के राइट अंडर 48, पोस्टल बैलेट. डीवीआर पास करना है. रिमेंबर डीवीआर में पढ़ा था हमने, वोटिंग कैन बी डन ओनली बाय पोस्टल बैलेट. ऑब्जेक्ट क्लॉज चेंज करना है, रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस आउटसाइड द लोकल लिमिट करना है, ये सारी स्पेशल बिजनेस ही तो है. ऑर्डिनरी बिजनेस को नहीं करना पोस्टल बैलेट से. ये 6 आइटम्स है जो पोस्टल बैलेट से करेंगे. कैसे याद रखना है मैम? हमने ऑल्टरेशन ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट करा, ऑल्टरेशन ऑफ आर्टिकल्स करा, आरओ चेंज करा, differential voting rights, section 48 variation. All these businesses will be transacted by postal ballot. और भी है buyback of shares, chairman director को elect करा under 151, sale of whole of the undertaking under 180, underwriting giving guarantees loans under 186. OPC and other companies having members up to 200 are not required to transact business through postal ballot. एक तो A to J ये याद करना है कि कौन कौन पोस्टल बैलेट से होगा. बाकी OPC and 200 members वाली कंपनीज आर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू ट्रांजैक्ट थ्रू पोस्टल बैलेट. वहां पे लिस्टेड कंपनी मोर देन 1000 के लिए कंडीशन थी. यहाँ पे ओपीसी एंड 200 कंपनीज को पोस्टल बैलेट से छूट है, मतलब मना। इज दिस क्लियर एवरीवन? सेक्शन 110 भी हो गया। अब बहुत छोटू छोटू सेक्शंस रह गए हैं, फटाफट से कंप्लीट हो जाएंगे, पता भी नहीं चलेगा आपको। एंड योर एमजीटी विल बी ओवर। एक बार क्वेश्चंस देख लो, यहाँ पे कोई है तो नहीं। दिस होल प्रोसेस यू सिंपली 108 से लेकर देखो 110 तक दिया है, कोई इलस्ट्रेशन भी नहीं है, क्वेश्चन भी नहीं है। इनफैक्ट आपको एग्जामिनेशन के भी बहुत कम क्वेश्चन मिलेंगे, बिकॉज इट्स अ वेरी बेसिक प्रोसीजर। बैलेट कंटेन्स असेंट्स डिसेंट्स, हाँ करना असेंट होता है, ना करना डिसेंट होता है। इनवैलिड बैलेट्स होते हैं जिसमें साइन नहीं मैच कर रहा, ओवर राइटिंग करी हुई है, तो ये सारे रिजेक्ट हो जाते। ठीक है, एक बार थोड़ा एमसीक्यूज में आए जरा बुक में। एजीएम ईजीएम उसने बाद में दिए, हमने कर लिया। The AGM of the company was held on 31st August. Suppose the chairman after 2 days went abroad for next 31 days. Due to the unavailability of chairman within the period subscribed, the report was signed by 2 directors, of which one was additional director. Comment on the signing of this report of AGM. Yes, the signing is in the order as the report can be signed by any director. No, the signing तो कौन sign करता है वैसे? Who should have signed it? Yes, Navneet, because less than 200 होते हैं तो हमेशा मना रहेगा। OPC belongs to 1%, absolutely correct. Report shall be signed by at least 2 directors. One of them shall be MD, and if there is one, company secretary of the company. Is this correct? So this is your D option is correct. Everybody agrees with this. Now the second MCQ. AGM shall be called by giving 21 clear days notice. However, shorter notice can also be accepted. 75% of members consent, 90%, अब हमने पढ़ा ही हुआ है 95% of the members अगर consent देंगे तो D option 95%. हाँ ये कराना चाहती थी. Which among the following companies is not required to provide its members the facility of right to vote by electronic? B Limited, whose shares companies having equity and preference both are listed. Having only equity, only the type of share are listed. C, whose preference share the companies having both equity and preference are listed. Companies whose equity and preference are listed. ध्यान से मुझे listed companies and equity preference का आंसर सोचते हुए थर्ड का आंसर दे दीजिए. Poonam, for which one are you saying C? Are you answering for the third one? A is right. Following companies, which is not required to provide. Okay, Pooja. Good, Deepika. Okay, Linga. Everybody goes with C? Yes? Y, B, J, Manucha. Sangeetvani, kabhi D, kabhi A. Yes, Mustafa, of course, we are doing MCQs here also, but since the syllabus is so vast, if I simply goes and take your quizzes only, then your vast syllabus will be left behind. So we have to consider the time period also in between, and we do definitely do such questions also in between. So in law, because it's a descriptive paper, more practice is required for descriptive writing. So everybody is correct. थर्ड का सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर, बिकॉज प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स की बात नहीं हो रही है. इक्विटी शेयर्स अगर आपके लिस्टेड है, दैट इज व्हाट इज द मेन relevance, that is what is required for the company to be counted as a listed company. So everybody has given the correct answer. Third ka C was the correct answer. If time permits, we will do certain more MCQs. But अगर मैं अभी आपको अपने वाले MCQs कराने लग गई तो आपका syllabus रह जाएगा. So first we have to concentrate on that as well, right? Okay, section 111. Now, section 111 is very, very interesting. I have a descriptive question and case study also on this section 111 today. Circulation of members' resolution. Sometimes what happens is that, say, for example, 5 resolutions are to be passed and the notice has been sent that number 1, alteration of object, number 2, appointment of director, ऐसे से करके हमने 5 resolution decide करी and उसका notice जाओ. But a member, a company on the requisition and writing of such members as required under section 100. 100 में क्या request देते हैं? 1/10 of the members having paid up share capital or 1/10 of the members having voting right. If they feel that, say for example, this 4th item, this need to be changed. This is not a good resolution, changes are required. Or they want some 6th resolution to be added to this. Then they can give the notice to any members for any resolution which is to be added or circulate the matters which needs to be changed in the meeting. What did I say? There can be 2 things. One can be you have to give a notice that you want to get something added in this resolutions, or you want something to be changed in that business. In both the cases, a requisitionist under section 100 can make a request and get this circulated among the members. This requisition has to be signed by the requisitionist and deposited at the RO of the company. In case the requisition is requiring the notice of the resolution, अगर आपको notice देना है members को कोई additional का, then at least 6 weeks before the meeting it should be done. Any other requisition, at least 2 weeks before the meeting should be deposited at the RO along with the sum at the company's expense. All right. So there are 2 cases, circulation of members. One is a notice has to be sent for any resolution to be moved. You saw the notice and you want to add another notice, that additional notice has to be sent for this. Or you want to circulate any matters referred in the resolutions to be dealt at the meeting. So first case, notice 6 weeks before the meeting देना है. Second वाला 2 weeks before the meeting देना. If this copy of resolution which is requiring a notice has been deposited at the registered office of the company, an annual general meeting is called on a day within 6 weeks, the copy has been deposited. Although not deposited within the time, it shall deem to have been properly deposited. So it says where if the first case is there, then it should have been given 6 weeks before the date of AGM. So date of AGM was 30th September. So 6 weeks उससे पहले दे देना चाहिए. But if you have deposited and within the 6 weeks we have called after the copy was deposited, then also it will be considered as a valid resolution deposit. Because 6 weeks का time अगर आपको comply हो जाता है, then it's okay. But sometimes what happens is some member is just trying to circulate the changes in the resolution just to gain needless publicity for defamatory matters. एक होते हैं ना, मतलब ऐसे ही हवा कर रहे हैं जी, हमें 111 में राइट मिला हुआ है सर्कुलेट करने का, तो हम ये चेंजेस चाहते हैं, हम नहीं चाहते मिस्टर बी को डायरेक्टर अपॉइंट करा जाए, वो अच्छा नहीं है, हम ये चेंजेस देना चाहते हैं. आप बिना मतलब पब्लिसिटी गेन करना चाहते हो. अब जैसे कोई ऐसे नेगेटिव थॉट्स देगा तो एवरीबडी वांट्स टू नो हु इज दिस मेंबर. So you'll gain publicity. So unnecessary if you're trying to gain publicity. Just to gain by saying defamatory matters means which is not a good matter. Then your statement will not be circulated. Application can be made either by the company or other person who claims to be aggrieved. Then central government will come in between and will say that this section is being abused just to gain the needless publicity. Then you will not be allowed to circulate the statements. Cost incurred by the requisitionists, they are not party to shall be paid to the company by the requisitionist. If any default is made in complying with this section, then 25,000 rupees penalty will be charged. But what is the most interesting part of this topic? Okay, imprisonment. Let me take you from the study. $110 ये सारे वही पॉइंट्स है जो हमने भी पढ़े हैं. So circulation can happen. First of all, requisition has to be made. उसने आपको लिख के दे दिया सेक्शन 100 वाला. Company having share capital 1/10 of the paid up share capital, not having share capital 1/10 of the voting power. 2 or more copies of the requisitions are required to contain signatures of the people. If it is to be deposited at least 6 weeks before the date of meeting. And the second case where you're just circulating asking for the changes. So board enjoys the primacy of setting the agenda. Members have a right to give their own resolutions. So if you're adding a resolution 6 weeks before the date, and if you're just making the changes 2 weeks before the meeting, expenditure will be borne by the requisitions. Notice has to be given of this requisition. Exemption from circular kisko hai? Company is not bound to circulate if there is any defamatory matters coming up. In order to bear the cost, requisitionist will bear the cost. And if there is any default, 25,000 rupees penalty will be charged. Word to word section 111 हमने पढ़ लिया. Now be ready to solve certain questions because you have done a lot of content. आपका major content अब 118 ही रह गया, बाकी सब बहुत ही easy है. आपने कोरम से related question कर लिया था. Let's do something related to voting. Take 2 minutes and read this question very, very carefully. Yes, students, have you read the question? Easy. What is the validity of the decision board of directors will take if the AGM of Vrinda having share capital 80 members are present in person or proxy holding more than 1/10 of the voting power demanded for poll? How many members can demand for poll? Holding 1/10 of the share capital. Chairman rejected the request, saying the members present in person can only demand for the poll. In an AGM, the process for poll, the members who earlier demanded want to withdraw it. The chairman rejected the request that once the poll is started, it cannot be withdrawn. Pade answers? Very good, Tanu Kuldeep. MCT 13 says this question. Yuvam, well tried. Let's read the answer and explain you. Section 109, we have clearly understood demand for poll. And the poll, if show of hands are not satisfied, poll can be demanded by the chairman on his own, or he can take the demand. If company is having share capital, what was the request? 1/10 of the voting power and 5 lakh shares. Not having share capital, 1/10 of the members present in person or proxy holding 1/10 of the voting power. Similarly, withdrawal ka humne padha tha, at any time demand for poll can be withdrawn. So first case, chairman cannot reject because it is demanded by a person in present in proxy. Such a provision should be there in the articles. अब अगर ये रह भी गया आपसे पेपर में लिखना तब भी ठीक है. 1/10 वाला point. Chairman cannot reject because withdrawing the demand for poll is allowed. Easy था. Yes, proxy can demand. हमने इतनी बार पढ़ा. Very good, Pooja. Chairman cannot reject the demand. Very good. And excellent answers given by all of you, even in the personal chats you have given. Very well tried. Sangeet Pani, very good. Mustafa, very good. So that means you have to understand the concept. Once you have understood it, learned it, then you can easily apply. Okay? Let's do certain MCQs also. Okay, let me test your knowledge related to register of members, if you remember. So a company is a manufacturing of garments having paid up share capital of 2 lakh of rupees 100 each. It's maintaining its register of members as per the provisions of Companies Act. They want to close their register of members for declaring dividend. It may do so by giving minimum days notice, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, or the register cannot be closed. अब ऐसा तो होता ही नहीं कि क्लोज नहीं हो सकता. बट कितने दिन का नोटिस देना होता है फॉर क्लोजिंग द रजिस्टर? Very good, Tanu, Anubhav, Yuvam, Prerna, excellent. 7 days notice. And what is the maximum time period for which you can close? So, maximum closing the register for not more than 45 days and 30 days at any time you can close the register. This you have already done. Register of members along with the index shall be present for a period of how many years and shall be kept in the custody of CS or any other person for 8 years, 10 years, CS or any other person, 6 years permanently. अब 6 and 10 years तो हमने पढ़ा ही नहीं कभी भी. अब यहाँ permanently है या 8 years है? जल्दी बता दो मुझे. Register of members along with the index. Everyone do this quiz. Somebody saying 8 years, somebody saying permanently. Forgot? So it is permanently under the CS or any other person authorized for this purpose. Corporate social responsibility abhi aapne nahi padha hai. In case of private company, the quorum for AGM is 1 member personally present, 2 members, 3 members, or 5 members. Very easy. 2 members personally present. Okay. This one you can do. फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट ये अभी हमने करा नहीं है ना. फर्स्ट एजीएम आपने कर लिया है 9 months में. Okay, let's do this one. PQ Limited is a public company having a registered office in Mumbai. Have you done this one with me? I don't think you have done this. 3680 members hai. Company sent a notice to all the members for its AGM to be held on 2nd September at 11 a.m. On the day of meeting, there were only 12 members personally present up to 11:30. Chairman adjourned the meeting because quorum nahi aaya. 3680 tha, 15 hone chahiye to adjourn. On the date of adjournment, only 10 members were present. He initiated the meeting and passed the resolutions. So we have already done that if it is an adjourned meeting, then whosoever are the members present within half an hour, they will be counted as the quorum. So AGM conducted has been validly done. And if it is a private company, then your answer is there is no need of adjournment. 2 members are personally present. So 15 should be there, not present, adjourned. Quorum is not present in the adjourned meeting, then the members present will be considered. Therefore, 12 members came. This is not in compliance. In the adjourned meeting, also the quorum required, but in the adjourned meeting, the members present will be in line with section 103. Therefore, it is valid. For private company, it is only 2 members. Clear? Interesting? Yes, Mustafa, for the second part, 2 is valid. Prerna, for the first part, valid is the correct answer. ठीक है. आप सिलेबस कंप्लीट करते हैं, वापस आएंगे इन क्वेश्चंस के ऊपर. एक केस स्टडी और कराऊंगी, बट फर्स्ट लेट्स कंप्लीट द सिलेबस बिकॉज स्टिल लेफ्ट सो मच टू डू. सेक्शन 111 क्लियर हो गया सबको. सर्कुलेशन ऑफ मेंबर्स रेजोल्यूशन. अब 112 बहुत ही इजी है. रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट एंड गवर्नर्स इन द मीटिंग of companies in which they are members. So it says if there is a company ABC Limited in which president of the country is member Mr. A or governor of a state Mr. B is a member, then they will appoint such representative who will go and attend the meeting on their behalf. And this representative will have same right to vote by proxy and postal ballot also. And this vote will be considered as if the governor and president himself has exercised his vote. ठीक है. So 112 says अगर कंपनी का कोई प्रेसिडेंट है, प्रेसिडेंट या गवर्नर अगर मेंबर है, तो वो अपना कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव एज अ प्रॉक्सी भेज सकते हैं और उसकी वोट काउंट होगी. 113 कहता है कि अगर कोई कंपनी मेंबर है, मैं पहले ही बता चुकी हूँ आपको, इफ अ बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट इज अ मेंबर ऑफ अ कंपनी, then they will send such person whom they think fit as a representative, and this person will also be counted as a proxy, has the right to vote by proxy or by postal ballot. It will be considered as the member who is voting at the meeting. So there is a company ABC Limited which is a member of PQR Limited. So company cannot come and vote. They have sent Mr. A. So Mr. A will be counted as the member of ABC Limited. So he will be counted as ABC Limited has casted the vote. So 112 and 113 में कुछ भी नहीं है. सिंपल बात है कि अगर आप गवर्नर प्रेसिडेंट हो तो मेंबर भेज देना. अगर आप कंपनी हो तो क्रेडिटर्स एंड कंपनी की मीटिंग में, क्रेडिटर्स की मीटिंग में भी, डिबेंचर होल्डर्स की मीटिंग में भी भेज देना, एंड कंपनी की मीटिंग में भी मेंबर. क्लियर? Then what is the meaning of resolutions? Ordinary resolution, special resolution. ये तो कब से बता रही हूँ मैं आपको, आज दिन आया है resolution पढ़ने. Resolution means the decisions to be taken at the meetings. Ordinary resolution is passed by simple majority. So there are 10 members. 6 members say yes, 4 says no. Ordinary resolution majority से decide होती है. Special resolutions, vote casted in favor should not be less than 3 times the votes casted against the resolution by members who are entitled. So votes casted in favor should be 3 times more than the votes casted. So we generally call it 75% of the votes in favor. So but in exam you have to write votes casted in favor should be at least 3 times or more than the number of votes casted against. So ordinary resolution is required to be passed when the votes are done, whether on show of hands or electronic, in favor of the solution, in favor of the resolutions passed, exceed the votes cast against the resolution who is entitled to. And special resolution, the intention has to be specified, notice is required, the votes casted in favor should not be less than 3 times the votes casted in against. Now, 115 is a very lengthy section. What is important to remember is, what are the cases where the special notice is required to be given? So, one is ordinary resolution, 50% wala. One is special resolution, 75% wala. One is notice given under section 101. One is explanatory statement given under section 102. So, फिर ये special notice क्या है? कहते हैं कुछ केसेस में, कुछ रेजोल्यूशंस में, 115 के केसेस में स्पेशल नोटिस देना पड़ता है अगर हमें इन चीजों से रिलेटेड रेजोल्यूशन पास करनी है, जैसे कि अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ एन ऑडिटर अदर देन द रिटायरिंग ऑडिटर, हम ऑडिट वाले चैप्टर में पढ़ेंगे सेक्शन 140. AGM where a retiring auditor is to be appointed, 140 पढ़ेंगे. Director is to be removed before his period, 169 CA final. Appointing another person in place of the director. कहते हैं ऐसी important बातें जहां पे you are appointing a person, retiring auditor is a person, E&Y is your auditor of the company. They have retired, their term has ended. Now you generally appoint them again for the next 5 years. So there is a gap. Section 140 will tell you casual vacancies arising or the time period, the limit that has been given has ended. So you want to appoint somebody else or you want to remove the auditors before their term. You are removing the creditors under 169 before their term. ऐसे important decisions जब आप ले रहे हो, तो along with the notice, 115 requires you to spend a special notice. Okay, that is the meaning of this section. So notice will be given to the company holding not less than 1% of the total voting power or aggregate of 5 lakh shares. So special notice is required. The intention to move has to be given in these cases. It has been paid up, shall give the members the notice of the resolution in such manner. So, ये procedure. This is the procedure to be followed. Special notice shall be signed individually or by such numbers holding not less than 1% of the total voting power or at least 5 lakhs of the paid up share capital. ये बच्चा limit है जो हमें learn करनी है. Notice shall be sent at least 3 months, not earlier than 3 months, but at least 14 days before the meeting. अब हम वो वाला नोटिस कब भेजते थे? नॉर्मल नोटिस 21 क्लियर डेज. ये स्पेशल नोटिस कब भेजना है? एटलीस्ट 3 महीने पहले, बट 14 डेज, मिनिमम 14 डेज, मैक्सिमम more than 3 months. ठीक है, at least 14 days before the date on which the resolution is. Company, after receiving the notice, will give the members at least 7 days exclusive of the day of dispatch and date of meeting. Once the company has received such notice, 7 days में ये notice members को भेज देगी. अगर practically possible नहीं है तो न्यूज़पेपर में ऐड दे देना. 7 days पहले notice को publish कर. क्या याद रखना है? 3 months, 14 days. कंपनी का पास जब आ जाएगा तो 7 days में नोटिस मेंबर्स. Okay, so this much information is more than sufficient for section 115. अभी जब स्टडी में जाएंगे तो एक बार ही देखिए. 116 says very important section, resolutions passed at the adjourned meeting. So where the resolution is passed at the adjourned meeting by the company or holders of shares of board directors will be treated as if it has been passed on the date it was in fact passed and not deemed to have been passed on any earlier date. So the AGM was to be held on 30th September 2025. Quorum was not present. Meeting was adjourned on 7th October 2025. 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 Now here the quorum was present and all the resolutions were passed on 7th October 2025. So this is the adjourned meeting. So under 116, what will be considered? That the decision has been taken on 30th September or on 7th October? Tell me, when will be the decisions considered? Absolutely correct. 7th October is the final date because here the date resolution जिस दिन pass हुई है उसी दिन को final माना जाएगा and not the date of meeting. 117 tells you about the resolutions to be filed. कौन सी resolutions हमें file करनी है? Just a simple resolution. जो भी resolutions आपने propose करी है file करनी है 30 days of passing the resolution registrar के साथ file कर देना. अगर आप नहीं फाइल करते तो पेनल्टी लगेगी आपको 10,000 रुपीज की एंड अ कंटिन्यूड पेनल्टी ऑफ 100 मैक्सिमम ऑफ 2 लाख रुपीज एंड ऑफिसर इन डिफॉल्ट की मैक्सिमम पेनल्टी है. सो 117 में सिर्फ ये कहता है कि रजिस्ट्रार के साथ फाइल करना है वरना पेनल्टी लगेगी. कौन सी रेजोल्यूशंस फाइल करनी है? स्पेशल रेजोल्यूशंस, रेजोल्यूशंस व्हिच हैव बीन एग्रीड बाय द मेंबर्स, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स की रेजोल्यूशंस, class of members, voluntary winding up, all these resolution of 179. Just a fair reading. 117 and 115 को सिर्फ एक बार रीड करना है. इंपॉर्टेंट अनइम्पॉर्टेंट की बात नहीं है, इंपॉर्टेंट सब कुछ है जो स्टडी में दिया गया है. सो 106, 7, 8, 9, 10 प्रोसीजर है वोटिंग का विच वी हैव अंडरस्टूड वेरी क्लियरली. 111 में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट दो बातें हैं, 6 वीक्स एंड 2 वीक्स वाला एंड न्यूज़पेपर में ऐड देनी है आपने, सर्कुलेट करना है मेंबर्स रेजोल्यूशन. उसके बाद 112 एंड 13 इज वेरी सिंपल एंड रेलिवेंट. गवर्नर है, प्रेसिडेंट है तो उसका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव जाएगा, कंपनी है तो इसका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव जाएगा. 115 and 117 is a fair reading which you will give because I'm going to give you 5 minutes break. Quickly just go through the pages from the study material. कोई doubt है तो पूछ लो. Because after the break we are going to finish up the topic 118, 19 and 121 which are very very important and we have questions also related to it. So let's take a small break because I know, I understand you need something to digest the points. So let's take a break and then do. So we're taking a small break here. 5 let's proceed ahead and finish off the topic. Minutes of the meeting. Who is going to tell me what is the meaning of the word minutes? Whenever any meeting is concluded, we always say that we make the minutes of the meeting. What is the meaning of the word minutes? Everyone. Excellent. It is the summary of the meetings. Whenever any meeting is concluded, we need to make a minutes of the every proceeding of the meeting, whether the resolution passed by postal ballot or it is board of directors meetings. It has to be kept within 30 days from the conclusion of the meeting. The minutes have to be made of every meeting of the shareholders, डायरेक्टर्स क्रेडिटर्स जिनकी भी मीटिंग होती है हमें रिकॉर्ड रखना है समरी रखनी है Aditya, not time of the meeting, the summary of the meeting. Okay, very good, very good. Everybody has given the correct answer. So minutes will give the correct summary of all the appointments made at the meeting, whatever the directors were present, whosoever, what resolutions have been passed, who were the dissenting shareholders and directors who are not agreeing to the resolutions. Every record is kept in the minutes of the company's meeting. But following things are not to be included in the minutes of the meeting, which the chairman think is defamatory, irrelevant, immaterial and detrimental to the interest of the company. कोई भी आपने फेक चीजें दी हैं, कोई डिफेमेटरी मैटर्स दिए हैं, detrimental matters हैं, irrelevant things हैं, they will not be included in the meeting. Chairman has the right to include or exclude something on the minutes provided the grounds given under subsection 5. That is, if it is not in the favor of the meeting, then we will not include. तो 3 words का याद रखने, defamatory है, detrimental है, irrelevant है, DDI, so we will not include. Minutes serve as an evidence that the meeting has been conducted properly, and the minutes will be kept under the reports until the contrary is proved. They have been duly evidence that everything, all the appointments, everything has been done in a valid. No document or report of the minutes shall be circulated or advertised at the company's expense unless it has the matters which are required by the unless for the matters which is already given in the minutes. मतलब आप ऐसे किसी को दे नहीं सकते reports अपने unless it is written in the minutes only that these things have to be given. And who will keep these minutes? CS of the company, all these sectorial practices as given by ICSI, Institute of Company Secretary of India, because company law matters are generally governed by ICSI also, and CS is appointed to take care of the company. So all these standards have to be maintained. Now comes the most important topic of minutes. If you don't comply with the provisions of 108, 25,000 and officer in default 5,000 rupees is the penalty. But if you have been found guilty of tampering with the minutes, tampering means छेड़खानी करनी, changes करनी. आपने मिनट्स में डायरेक्टर मिस्टर जी अपॉइंट हुए हैं, आपने कोई और कागज लगा दिया, आपने लिखा मिस्टर वाई वाज अपॉइंटेड, आपने झूठ कर दिया, फॉल्स कर दिया, you made any changes in the records of the meeting, then you wait and watch. You will be sent to jail for 2 years and 25,000 to maximum 1 lakh rupees fine will be due. So minutes में क्या याद रखना है? Record है, summary है company की, DDI matters, that is detrimental, defamatory, irrelevant will not be included. CS practices have to be followed. The records shall be made within 30 days. And if you do any tampering with the minutes, this is an important penalty because you're doing tampering, you're doing any fraud with the minutes, 2 years imprisonment, 25,000 to maximum 1 lakh rupees will be the penalty which will be charged. The next important point of the minutes is who will sign the minutes. Who is going to sign the minutes? Procedure for maintaining the minutes. First of all, it gives you the resolution passed will be recorded. Every resolution passed, a brief summary of scrutinizers' reports, minutes, meeting of the creditors, board, सब कुछ आपने रिकॉर्ड में मेंटेन करना है जब भी आप कंपनी के मिनट्स बनाओ. Now, important part is who is going to sign the minutes. Every page of the minutes will be initialed or signed, and the last page will be signed by the, depending upon what meeting we have. What is the meaning of putting your initials? Suppose my name is Harleen Kaur. Suppose my initials are HK. So on every page of the minute, I'll put HK, HK, HK. सारे pages पे या तो मैं sign करूंगी. Either I'll put my signatures or I'll just put my initials on every page of the minutes. And if it is a board meeting, chairman will sign of that meeting or chairman of the next meeting. Succession meeting means your next meeting ka chairman. If it is a general meeting, within 30 days, if the chairman will sign, and if the chairman has died, then director duly authorized. If it is postal ballot, chairman of the meeting within 30 days, and if no chairman, then director duly authorized. So क्या याद रखना है? Sign कौन करेगा? Sign of minutes. Number 1, every page initial करो या फिर sign करो. Number 2, last page कौन sign करेगा? अगर board meeting है तो chairman of that meeting और next meeting का. अगर shareholders की meeting है तो कौन करेगा? चेयरमैन या फिर डायरेक्टर ड्यूली ऑथराइज्ड. अगर पोस्टल बैलेट की है तो चेयरमैन या फिर डायरेक्टर ड्यूली ऑथराइज्ड. तो इतनी सी बात थी. मिनट्स ऑफ द मीटिंग खत्म हो गया. मिनट्स विल बी प्रिजर्व परमानेंटली. रजिस्टर ऑफ मेंबर्स परमानेंटली मेंटेन कर रहे थे, मिनट्स भी परमानेंटली मेंटेन करने हैं. केप्ट इन द रिकॉर्ड्स ऑफ CS. Minute book will be preserved permanently and shall be kept in the records of the company secretary of the company. And minutes की inspection हो सकती है. 119 क्या कहते हैं? Inspection of the minutes can be done at any time during the business day, business hours, but 7 working days से पहले inform कर देना. कोई भी गड़बड़ करोगे 25,000 rupees की penalty है. A member who has made a request of the soft copy of the minutes for a period immediately 3 financial years shall be entitled to it free of cost. तो 3 साल की फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स की कॉपीज आप फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट दे सकते हो किसी भी मेंबर को, नॉट एन आउटसाइड. 120 कहता है AI का जमाना है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिकॉर्ड्स रखना. रूल 27, 28, 29 मॉड्यूल में से एक बार आपने रीड कर लेने हैं. सारे रिकॉर्ड्स इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली आपने रखने हैं एंड इंस्पेक्ट हो सकते हैं. And 121 is very, very important. MGT 15, within 30 days of conclusion of AGM, it shall be filed with the registrar. And if you don't file within 30 days MGT 15, then penalty of 1 lakh will be charged. For Rule 31, they refer module. Rules के लिए एक बारी modules देख लेना. 122 कहता है chapter की applicability to OPC. Simple है, just to be read by all of you. And I think we have done all the questions also. We will go in the study material. Form भी दिखाऊंगी आपको. पहले एक बार स्टडी मटेरियल कंप्लीट कर लें. 112, 13 समझ आता है सबको? देखो 1 से 14 से 117 उसने इकट्ठा ही दिया हुआ. There is a difference between motion and resolution. Motion होता है एक प्रपोजल. मैंने कहा हम सारे छुट्टियों में घूमने जाएंगे, तो मैं एक प्रपोजल दे रही हूँ आपको. आपने मीटिंग करी, डिसाइड करा कि हम लोग सारे कहाँ घूमने जाएंगे? गोवा घूमने जाएंगे और डेट फिक्स हो गया, टिकट्स बुक हो गई, रेजोल्यूशन पास. जो मैंने कहा था वो एक मोशन था, एक सेइंग थी. सो हमने जब तक डिसीजन नहीं लिया तब तक रेजोल्यूशन, रेजोल्यूशन इज द फाइनल डिसीजन, मोशन इज जस्ट द प्रपोजल. ORSR इज क्लियर. ORSR इज इंपॉर्टेंट, ये पढ़ लेना, उसकी समरी दी हुई है. ये क्वेश्चंस वेरी वेरी इजी, यू कैन डू देम. इलस्ट्रेशंस एक करा देती हूँ. एजीएम होनी थी कंपनी की. नोटिस वाज कंटेन्ड फॉर 8 स्पेशल बिजनेसेस टू बी ट्रांजैक्टेड. Chairman decided to move all the resolutions at one time so that the members' time will be saved. To discuss whether 2 or more resolutions can be moved. So it says, for avoiding the confusion, we want that the resolutions should be done separately. There is nothing illegal, ऐसा मना नहीं है, but it is preferred to move them separately. So each resolution should be put up separately. If the meeting unanimously adopt all the resolution, it would be immaterial. आपकी डिस्क्रिशन है, आपकी चॉइस. फिर 115 के स्पेशल नोटिस वाले ये इंपॉर्टेंट 4 केसेस जो मैंने आपको बताए हैं वो याद करने हैं आपने. Extraordinary general meeting was called. Purple Cosmetics was due to held on 1st August. Due to want of the quorum, meeting was adjourned. 2 resolutions were passed. So it will be considered that the resolutions have been passed on 8th of August. 116. Simple. 117. कुछ भी नहीं है, ये वही सारी बातें हम कर चुके हैं उसको, है ना. ये वाली एग्रीमेंट्स है जो 117 में रीड करना है. 118 हमने पूरा कर लिया. कोई एग्जांपल्स तो नहीं है यहाँ पे जो हम कर सकते हैं. फिर हमने एजीएम ईजीएम तो हमने ऑलरेडी कर लिया. कॉन्ट्ररी प्रूव्ड मीन्स मनमीत. इसके अलावा अगर आप कुछ प्रूव कर देते, आपने कहा कि जज साहब ये ऐसा नहीं हुआ था, ऐसा हुआ था, तो आपने कॉन्ट्ररी प्रूव करो. मीन्स कुछ अलग अगर आप प्रूव करते हो तो दैट विल बी कंसिडर्ड. Ma'am, I think I will be financial lawyer by end of the law. Just want to know how to write petition or court notices. Definitely, Mustafa, for that you also need to go to the law firms for having more exposure and practice. Yes, I'm showing you the form. Aditya is so considerate about forms. So proxy form देखा था हमने. MGT 11 देखते हैं, इंटरेस्टिंग फॉर्म है. So this is your 105 of the Companies Act telling us how the proxy will be appointed. SIN number, name of the member. We, the member of the shareholders, hereby appoint Mr. B, Mr. C, उनका email address देना, as the proxy who will come and attend and vote on my behalf, to be held at this AGM, this time, place, adjournment. Resolutions के नंबर भी दिए हैं आपने भी. इन सब मीटिंग्स के लिए हमने proxy भेजा. This form, in order to be effective, should be completed and deposited at least 14 hours before the commencement of meeting. And can I inspect this proxy form? When can I inspect this? During the business hours, 24 hours before the date fixed for the meeting, till the conclusion of the meeting. उसके बाद हम देखेंगे MGT 12 देख लेते हैं. MGT 12 is your polling paper. MGT 7 क्या था, जल्दी बताओ मुझे. What was MGT 7? Very good. Annual return. MGT 7A क्या था? To open it completely. For OPC and small companies. Very nice. Let's see MGT 15, which is one of the important forms. So MGT 15 is filled according to section 121. अगर मैं इसे क्लिक कर दूंगी तो ये मुझे साइट पे भी ले जाएगा. SIN number, global number, all these details. किस दिन AGM हुई, क्या डे था, start time, end time, venue of the AGM, number of members, adjournment है तो result है. Summary of the proceedings means minutes of the meeting. ये fair summary क्या थी? Confirm that the meeting has been done to be digitally signed by the chairman or Any director duly authorized, right? 448 and 449 for punishment for any false evidence to be given. So 12 pages का है ये आपका MGT 15 form. This reminds me that I have a question for you related to MGT 15, which I'm sure you would love to do. चलो एक लास्ट MCQ करते हैं. No, Ashilesha, they will not be asking you. ये तो हम सिर्फ out of curiosity, just to improve the practical learning, we just try to see the forms. AGM of Yellow Limited was held on 25th June 2022. Till what time the company should submit the report to the registrar under section 121? What is the correct date? And also tell me in which form this report should go. Pooja wrong. Anubhav wrong. अभी तो कराया मैंने section 115. Sorry, Pooja is correct. Linga is correct. Prerna is correct. Now everybody follow her, no? So absolutely correct. 121 में report on AGM shall be filed with the ROC within MGT 15 form within 30 days. So with this, we come to an end of a very huge and big chapter, that is management and administration. I truly understand and agree that it is very vast, but what I expect from all of you is you have 4 days before you have next law class on Monday. Yes, 118 pages, Mustafa, and sections also beyond 180. So you have 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Try to read the chapter, try to revise, complete your notes. And still, if you have any doubts, I'm glad to tell you I'm meeting you on Monday for acceptance of deposits. So you can ask me if you have any doubts, but do finish your revision and reading in these 4 days. Because children, whenever you do the chapter along with me that you have revised also, then you will never forget it. So don't postpone the things, okay? Thank you, Shamli. I'm glad you've understood everything. That's wonderful. That's great. And a big thank you to all of you for being patient listeners. And you have been, next chapter, Kuldeep, we'll be going back to our deposits where we have left because I wanted to do in MGT with you so that you understand the meaning of the words, meetings, resolutions, because we were using those words. Okay, thank you, Tanu. Thank you, everyone. See you on Monday now for the acceptance of deposits. Till then, just revise and complete this chapter. Yeah, definitely, Mustafa. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, students. Thank you. Sir, we are done with the topic. Yes, sir. So, thank you.